You've all seen Stranger Things, right? Let's talk about it. Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things is a Netflix original series. So far, there's only been one season consisting of 8 episodes. Now, what is this show about? Stranger Things takes place in 1983 in a little town near Indiana called Hawkins, where nothing ever happens. However, one night, a 12-year-old kid called Will disappears under very mysterious circumstances. And now, his mother, his 3 best friends, and a police officer are all looking for him. In the meantime, there's also some mysterious and sci-fi-ish stuff going on, including a very strange monster, a secret government conspiracy, and a young girl with superpowers. Now, this show has been one of the most requested videos, seriously, because people really tweeted me. They wrote me, they're like, why the fuck haven't you seen this show? And I was like, no, I don't have a policy against watching this show. I just did not have the time. But I watched the show in 2 days. That's how engaging it was. And I can tell you, Stranger Things is amazing. Amazing. First of all, we have to talk about the tone, because this show harkens back to Steven Spielberg adventures of the 80s, but also to Stephen King literature and movies of the 80s and John Carpenter horror of the 80s. And it all mishes and matches to this perfect package of 8 episodes that you really can get hooked on. I guarantee it. And when I say that this show feels like the 80s, I absolutely mean it. The opening titles alone, the pop cultural references, seriously, you would look into the children's room and find pictures of John Carpenter's The Thing, Jaws, all that stuff. But also the vibe. Every time you see those kids interacting, it feels like E.T. Every time you see the teenagers interacting, it feels like a John Carpenter horror movie, kind of like The Thing. And every time you see the adults, it actually feels like a Stephen King novel. And these 3 styles don't contradict one another. No, they actually add towards one another. Our 3 main children are called Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, and they were phenomenal, because very often you see children portrayed in a movie or a TV show and they don't act like children. These kids 100% talk and act like kids, and that's the highest compliment I can give them. I was so drawn to them because I really put myself in their shoes, in their situation, like going on an adventure, finding their missing friend. It was awesome. I can't illustrate the E.T. vibe enough. Winona Ryder, I haven't seen her in a very long time, and I'm glad she's back because she plays Will's mother, and she was fabulous. Fabulous. You really feel the pain that she's going through because she thinks she's going crazy. She believes that she found a way to communicate with her lost child through lights. I'm really not trying to spoil stuff, but the show has been out for quite some time, so this video will naturally have some spoilers. But it works. You, as a viewer, know she's not crazy, but everyone around her thinks that she's fucking losing her mind, and I think she played that very, very well. Then we got the police chief, Jim Hopper. The first time I met the guy, I was like, I don't know about him. He seems too cliche. Yeah, he's sort of down on his luck. He's a drunk. Nothing ever happens. And he seems tired from life. And I was like, what the hell is that all about? However, later on, when you learn more about him, more about his past, and you see how engaged he gets with this case, you're like, hell yeah, Jim Hopper is an awesome character. Also, Mike's older sister also has her side adventures, and that's probably the one plotline I liked the least, but it still worked for me. It still captured the essence of teenagers from the 80s. But now, let's get to it. Scene stealer. And to me, star of the entire show is Millie Bobby Brown. That's right, a young girl who portrays 11. That's her name because she's been part of an experiment. Now she has superpowers, and my lord, that girl was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, her acting is top notch. It's so real. It's so mature for a little kid to play a role like that. But she hit all the right notes. She was emotional when she needed to be. You really felt like you're watching a young little girl that went through hell and now she's traumatized. But also you can see the badass moment, you can see the fun moments of being a child. It's all in there. And she did a masterful job, seriously. She straight up reminded me of Natalie Portman from Leon the Professional. That's how good she was. That's child acting the way I love it. Because very often you have child actors that are not just that great, but she was fabulous. So what can I say? Terrific soundtrack, terrific setup, terrific plot, because the mythology of that show, the sci-fi elements of the show, and the horror elements of the show are great. Yes, some sequences are actually very creepy and eerie and terrifying, but it worked. The adventure aspect that harkens back to E.T. also worked. The interactions between all the characters work, and the finale left me with a lot of questions, gave me some answers, and now I want to see more. So yeah, I don't normally hand out medals to TV shows because I would really have to pick every episode apart, but this would get a gold medal if I would be handing out medals to television shows. But this show is fabulous, it's great. If you're a child of the 80s, check it out, you will not regret it. It is only 8 episodes long, so watch it. I fell in love with the show, and I'm really glad that people were so persistent on telling me to watch this show. So Stranger Things, have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.